All right, good afternoon. As of about 2 seconds ago, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jennifer Conway, and I'm the president and CEO of the Broken Arrow Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Corporation. And I have to admit, I don't think it's the chamber chicken that packed the house, which was good. It was absolutely good, right? But our city manager really knows how to draw a crowd. So I'm going to have him speak next month at my State of the Chamber. Just in case you all will show up, that would be great. No, thank you for joining us. This is one of our most favorite events of the year. I think we may have outgrown this room, but we love the energy that comes with it, and really to cap off an incredible year with the vision of one of the people that made this entire year what it is in Broken Arrow. So we have the honor to hear from our city manager, Michael Spurgeon, today with State of the City. But we have a few things that we want to do before we get started. So we're going to start this event off like we do in Broken Arrow with a prayer and a pledge. So I'm not Michael, you're not surprised you're doing it. Well, Mike Scrimshire will please join us.
Why don't y'all go ahead and stand with me if you would. I was looking to see if you was going to run up here real fast, so I was waiting. Let's pray. Father, thank you for the day that you have provided for us today, the beautiful sunshine, the great chamber day that we have been given. Thank you for the people in this room, for the opportunities that we get each and every day that we pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mike Scrimshire, board member, ambassador, Traeger seller, printer, all the many things. We're so thankful for keeping going, all the wonderful things that you do in our community. Now, I do want to recognize, speaking of people who do things in our community and our chamber, I want to recognize our sponsors for today. So our presenting sponsors for today's luncheon, Floral Haven, Netlink Solutions, the Persimmon Group, Tulsa Tech, and Vast Bank. Let's give our presenting sponsors a round of applause. Glass. Should we make glass with gas? Our new member, Way Insurance, and our table sponsor, First National Bank, GH2 Architects, Surface Company of Oklahoma, and Windstream. And last but not least, who's helped us squeeze in here with an incredible team that sets up all the tables and supports us in every way, our host sponsor, Broken Arrow Public Schools. I do want to thank you to Party Serve for the amazing lunch and the team that is helping set it all up and clear the tables. You always do an excellent job, and their chamber member, we're thankful for them. Now I'm going to ask Amber Hinkle, our events manager, to tell us what's going on in the next couple days.
This quiet, especially when there's this many of you. Good afternoon. We have still got a lot going on, even though the year is almost over. Just as our friend Mike Scrimshire said, and we are so grateful for this season. It is the most wonderful time of the year. It is my favorite time. Our holiday after hours is tomorrow at AVB Bank downtown. If you're not already signed up, it may or may not be too late. It depends on if you call me and ask real nice. So if you want to go, let me know. We'll get you signed up for that. In addition to that, our Buy BA drawing, if you haven't already collected all those green tickets, you should have gotten one when you came in the door. That is December 15th. And we'll be at Mattress Firm this year to draw the lucky winner of all of that good cold cash I know we can all use right now. And then theme this year, it is a masquerade theme, still black tie attire, but we want to see if you want to add a little flair to your ensemble. And of course, so we came up with a very fun kind of mask as opposed to the kind that we all do your due diligence, find something fun, and let's cover a different part of our face this time. And let's get signed up for the gala. If you haven't gotten a table or a sponsorship and you want to be there, let us know. We will definitely get you signed up for that. Our 2022 calendar is up and running. So if you're interested in events for 2022 and would like to either sponsor or attend, bachamber.com is the place to go, and we will get you all set up for all of that. So now, all of that being said, we've got a guy here who did some work in November, apparently, is what he keeps telling us. And we have some new members we'd like to introduce. So here's Jason Stevens to tell you about all of our new members from November.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I won't touch that. The redneck word of the day is mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, a lot of people in here today. Feels like 2019 in here. So good to see everybody. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Spurgeon said everybody's invited over to his house as soon as this is over for the after party. I don't know if the chief will let that happen, but we'll figure it out. We had a good month last month, so I'm up here to announce all of our new members from November. If you are in attendance today, I'd like you guys, when I read your name, to stand up and tell us your astrological sign and what you're getting for Christmas. Just kidding. If you'd like to stand up, please stand up so everybody knows who you are. It's a big crowd here today, obviously, and thanks again for joining the chamber. But anyway, we had last month 911 Outfitters and Alley Scrubs. We had Andy B's Bowl Social, Archwell Health, Berkshire on Main and Berkshire Salon and Day Spa, Blow and Glow Blowout and Beauty Bar, Care First Insurance, Chart Incorporated, Clean Jones LLC, Express Employment Professionals, Farmers Insurance, Chelsea Page Agency, Hometown Insurance, Carrie Sweden. I always love when I get to flip the page, there's so many. Hot Works Broken Arrow, Jameson's Manor Home of Delco Events. Messed that up. Jameson's Manor Home of Delco Events. K-Bar Designs, Matt Williams Insurance Agency, Nick's Tree Service Incorporated, Outside Incorporated, Platinum Event Services, Real Estate Edward J. Remax Results, Riverbrook Apartments, Stacy Ray Agency, Farmers Insurance, Sugar Llamas Broken Arrow, Tacos for Life, The Feedlot, we're halfway done, The Hub Gym, Tulsa Area United Way, and Tulsa Zoo Management Incorporated. So before you guys applaud, because I know you're going to, I do want to say I'd love to take credit for these 28 new members, but there's no way this would be possible without our TRC campaign. So I know there's a bunch of these people that are in the room here today. We appreciate your help in adding to the membership here in Broken Arrow, and we're thankful to the new members. Let's give them a round of applause for joining for Conway.
I mean, 28 new members. Isn't that incredible? And that really goes out to our staffs and our volunteer, but that is an indication of the health of our community. That's an indication of the health and the growth of our businesses in Broken Arrow. Many of those on that list are brand new businesses or have started within the last year. So definitely going to be a segue into what our city manager is going to share with us, but it takes the entire community to build those businesses. It takes an entire community and it takes a committed city to create an environment in which these businesses want to start their business and ultimately thrive. And so we as the chamber are excited to play our role and do our part in supporting those businesses. But it's really all of us in each role that we play that ensures that business can start and is successful. And that's what's the partnership that we have through our education system, with our school systems. It is just incredible what we have in Broken Arrow. We talk about it a lot, but it is what makes us great. And so along in that, I want to speak a minute about our city manager. I am thankful to be able to call him friend. I'm thankful to be able to call him a colleague, a cheerleader of mine, and I'm a cheerleader of his, and someone who I get to work alongside every day. And we get to wake up and figure out how we're going to make Broken Arrow best, and then how, looking forward, how we can ensure that it continues on that path upward. He has been our city manager since 2015. There's too many awards to list here in his bio. But we are so thankful in Broken Arrow. Even though I came after him, I understand why he was chosen and what he does on a daily basis. And so I look at this event not only as celebrating what the city does, and I know there's a lot of people that go into what makes the city great, and those in the leadership are important. But I also would like to just take a moment and honor our city manager for him as an individual and his commitment. So can we just give him a round of applause? And you to know that's appreciation for you, who you are and what you do. After, we'll applaud for how great your speech was. but it was, I don't want to delay anymore because we have a lot in store for the next few minutes. So if you, City Manager Michael Spurgeon, would please come forward.
All right, good afternoon. I have to make a confession, and I think the mayor and vice mayor are going to think this is funny. I wasn't nervous until Jason mentions the word mayonnaise. And for those of you on my staff and the council members know that mayonnaise scares me. I'm really serious. Mayonnaise and pickle are my kryptonite. I got my superpowers on today. I'm all Batmaned up, but anybody that knows me knows that mayonnaise and pickle scare me. So thanks a lot, Jason. Where you at? I sat here for 10 minutes in a zone. I was really zoned out. And then when you mentioned mayonnaise, thanks a lot, brother. I see you back there. Wow, what a crowd. Chief Moore, where you at? Where you at? We good on occupancy? Okay. All right, so I want to make sure you let me know. I mean, I don't want you to run anybody out of the room, but you just let us know if there's an issue. So, all right, well, good afternoon. It is amazing to see so many folks here today. On behalf of Deborah Wimpy, our mayor, the Broken Arrow City Council, I want to welcome you to the 2021 State of the City. At this time, I'd like our council members to stand up so they could be recognized. We have Mayor Deborah Wimpy, Vice Mayor Christy Gillespie, Councilmember Scott Udi, Johnny Parks, and Lisa Ford. Let's give them a round of applause. I can't tell you how excited I am on behalf of the council to give this presentation. The most important is because we're all together again. And Jason was right, so you've recovered, Jason. Looks like 2019. And I'm happy we had it here because this place is special to me. This is where I gave my first address, and I just like this venue. I consider myself the messenger that's going to be talking about all the great things that have happened over the last year. And, I want to make it clear that my message today is going to ebb and flow a little bit. I'm going to go quick in some places, and I'm going to slow down in others because I want to focus on some of the great things that have happened and where I think we're going to go. I want to get the address started by just saying that this is my 7th presentation to the chamber membership, and I cannot believe that time has actually flown so quickly since I gave my first presentation when I stood before the membership and I talked about what I thought was going to be ahead for our community. Since then, so much progress has happened, and we're making this transformation from a local government that is a small city mentality to one of the top 270 in America. That's right. Based on the latest census, Broken Arrow's population puts us at the 267th largest city in America. And you think about that for a second, there's over 10,000 cities in our country. So to be 267 says a lot about and those that want to be here. I will say that despite all that we've accomplished so far, and I'm going to talk about those accomplishments, I still believe that we haven't even reached our potential. And we're just getting started on what Broken Arrow can actually become as a modern city in this country. About 10 years ago, I came to the realization that the success of a community, a destination, it's a journey. And it's a journey, in my opinion, that you should never reach that destination. And so if you think about the success of a community and the fact that it's a journey, there's a lot of things that you need to think about in order to continue to be a successful city. And for the council and me, we believe that a successful you have to build consensus, you have to act boldly, even in the face of adversity, and we have to maintain our core values. Lives. I chose this theme because all you have to look around our community and you can see that opportunities abound. We're seeing growth and prosperity all over our city. We're seeing results. I don't believe our success is by accident or happenstance. Over the last decade, there has been a tremendous amount of community planning, organization, and implementation or execution by every single entity that wants to make Broken Arrow great. There are so many in this room today that have helped make that happen, and I believe they need to be recognized. And a little bit later, I'm actually going to take a few minutes and recognize a number of those entities that help make our success possible. My goal for today is to tie everything together that we've done for the last 6 years set us on the current course, and then talk about where I believe the city council and myself and the administration would like to go on this journey. But right now, I want to talk about the state of our city. How is our city doing? That's why everybody's here today, to find out how the city's doing and where are we on this proverbial journey. Honestly, I could save everybody an hour of your time because I can tell you the state of our city in 5 words. Our city's truly blessed. That's right, we are blessed beyond measure in so many different ways. And throughout my entire talk today, you're going to hear about how blessed I believe we are, both in the public sector and the private sector. Because for me, I believe you can feel the energy and momentum that exists right now, and I'm going to give you a case in point. We have new businesses that are being built all over this city. We have new homes that are springing up in all parts of the city, and we have infrastructure projects every single place in this community. From the council's perspective and my perspective, our economy is strong. Our streets are safe. Thank you, Brandon. We have the best schools in the state. We have a quality of life that is second to none, and we continue to be recognized as a great place for private investment. For me, the most important bullet point on there is the last one about the investment that the private sector makes. Because if we didn't have a private sector that believed in this community, it'd be hard for any of us to be successful and to have the quality of life that we currently have in our community. You know, me have helped make that happen. And this morning I was sharing with Norm Stevens my thoughts about the state of our economy. And after I read what I just read about being blessed and those bullet points, Norm said, "Mike, you just ought to drop the mic and walk off the stage." What do you think, Norm? That's exactly right. Nobody's going where for an hour, okay? There's just too many things that I need to share with the city and those that are making it happen. And I want to tell you a little secret. And this excites me and gets me a little emotional. All this happened in the midst of a pandemic. A pandemic the likes that our country, any of us, have ever seen. Our community's success is during this unprecedented times is a true testament to the resiliency of every person in this room and the fortitude of our community to stand tall in the face of so much adversity. You know, over my career, I have never worked out of fear. And being a city manager, that's hard to say. I've never employed a fear-based decision-making model, so I wasn't about to do that during this pandemic. We led from the front. We kept our city open. We now are a strong economy, and it's because of the leadership that was displayed by the council and the private sector to keep our community open. People from around the metro and the region are coming to Broken Arrow because the way the public sector and the private sector handled the pandemic. I couldn't be prouder of each person in this room because it was tough. We had to make some tough decisions. We still have to make tough decisions. But I'm proud of how we responded, and I think our economy and our community has been recognized as a leader in so many ways. So let's get to the agenda for today. I had my open remarks. I'm going to do my recognitions. I have 2 videos. The first one's going to be a year in review. Then I'm going to talk about what I call promises made and promises kept. Then I'm going to give you some data that demonstrates how we're doing. I have a second video called Opportunity EA, and then I'm going to talk about what's ahead for 2022. So going back to what our foundation is, the overarching goal of the council and the administration is really very simple. Maintain and build upon the great quality of life that exists in Broken Arrow. Everything, and I mean every single thing the council, administration, and staff does is done with specific intent to try to make the quality of life better for those people that live in this community. Whether it is the decisions the council has to make or what the administration has to do, whether it's building public infrastructure, quality of life initiatives, and trying to be transparent on everything we do, that's what our focus is. Council members believe the exact same thing. They're constantly putting citizens expect it. And all this is done is ensuring Broken Arrow is a great place to live, play. If you think that's easy, I'm telling you it's not. It's absolutely not easy. Like any fast-growing community, we have challenges that exceed our capacity. And I'm going to give you 2 examples, and I think the second one you're going to find kind of funny, or some of us will. We always have more wants and needs than we do money, both internally and externally. And so the council and I have spent a lot of time prioritizing and making sure that we're spending public dollars wisely. And secondly, there's sometimes when we never do things quick enough, fast enough, or good enough for some people in the community. And all you have to do is check out social media to see what we're talking about, especially Nextdoor. Isn't that right, council? So if you ever look at the Nextdoor app, which I don't, it's a little rough. I'm going to address our major concerns because I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you what the challenge is, because everything's not rainbow and unicorns in our city. During our challenge, I will say this, despite our challenges, I feel like that we have the city council, the administration, the community leaders, and our partners that we can overcome any challenge within this community. The support is there amongst our citizens. The trust is there. It's proven every time we go ask them for a bond package. Most cities don't have that luxury. So moving on, and I'm going to slow down a little bit here because this is important to me. There are many different entities and individuals whose mission is to help move our city forward and create a great quality of life. The city council and I cannot do it in a vacuum. It just doesn't work that way. Our success is not just what the 5 council members and myself do. It's made up of a lot of different folks. And that's why I said back in 2015 is that Broken Arrow has a ceiling. And the higher that ceiling is, the more opportunities for growth and prosperity there is. And there's a lot of people that contribute. So on behalf of the mayor and council, I'd like to recognize a number of entities that I think help make our community great and raising our ceiling. First and foremost, our Chamber of Commerce and our EDC board. I appreciate their service and being the voice for the citizens of our city. I got to work with Lauren this year, and it's been a pleasure. We're arguing like brothers and sisters, and I think she was trying there. Greg Graham, where you at, Greg? Thank you, Greg. Greg led our EDC this year, and believe me, we've had some transition in the EDC. We have some new board members, and I appreciate your leadership, sir. Jennifer Conway, let me throw some comments back out to the interview that she was the person that I felt would be the best person I've ever worked around, and somebody that works in the public. And I want to express how much I appreciate working with Jennifer and her team, because I know they have the same values that we have in terms of making Broken Arrow better. To our local public school districts, I got them here. They're here. Thank you very much for all that you do to educate our children, prepare them for the future. Your job is definitely harder than mine is, and I want to thank you. Tulsa Tech, I got my friends at Tulsa Tech here. I got Dr. Tiger, thank you for all that you do in helping create opportunities and prepare our kids for the future. We've got NSU. They've made a commitment to our community. We have Tulsa and Wagner officials. We've got County Commissioner Stan Salee. We also have Vicki Adams, Mike Craddock, and we have a number of judges that are here today because they believe in Broken Arrow. I want to thank all of them for being state representatives. Our ceilings are getting a little bit higher. Ross Ford, Kevin McDougall, TJ Marty, and Stan May. Where are you guys? Raise your hand, folks. Where are you at? I'm telling you, be happier to work with these folks. Give them a round of applause. You know, they go into office, and I think they learn quickly that it's not as easy as they thought it was. But I appreciate everything they do and the strong positions they take on behalf of our community. So thank you very much. Our federal delegation, I want to thank them. Brian O'Hara, I call him underdog because he's everywhere. Thank you, Brian. Where are you at, my friend? Okay, there you are. Thank you, brother. Officials from the Muskogee Nation. We are partnering and developing a relationship with the Muskogee Nation because we're serving the same constituency, and we're very excited that their new chief, Chief Hill, is an amazing person to work with. The mayor and I ran an event last Friday. They invited us to, and you're going to see a lot more partnerships we have. There's another group that I am very grateful for, and that's our local utility companies: PSO, ONG, AT&T, Cox, and Windstream. First, thank you for keeping your rates competitive and keeping in mind price point considerations that businesses have when they look at a community. So thank you, and all the partnerships that you make to the chamber, because I know how important those are. To our city boards and commissions, these are all volunteer people that help council make policy, and I'm grateful. Team, I couldn't ask for a better group of servant leaders. Every one of them understands the why we do what we do and helps me get to yes as much as possible. So thanks to all of you. And finally, to all the local businesses, the owners and operators that are here, I'm grateful for your investments on behalf of the council that you make to our community. And truly, without all of your support, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you for all that you do. So as you can see, there's so many, and if I've forgotten you, I apologize. I try to basically come up with those folks that I know that we work with on a daily basis. But as you can see, everybody has to work together, even though we have a little bit of a different mission, to make sure that Broken Arrow's ceiling is high as possible so we can continue to grow. So let's give all those folks that are helping raise our ceiling a round of applause. Okay. Today that I'd like to recognize, let me introduce Mr. Michael Kuhn. Michael has been one of the driving forces behind bringing Mission 22 War at Home Memorial to Broken Arrow. The Contemporary Memorial, which is a partnership between the Muskogee Tribe, the city, and Mission 22, is currently under construction and will be dedicated next spring. I can tell you, we cannot wait till we cut the ribbon. Michael tragically lost his son several years ago. Since then, he, alongside with Mission 22, has been working to bring more awareness to the importance of veteran suicides. The memorial that Broken Arrow has with this partnership is going to be a place of healing for family members and a way to honor those that have lost their war. Michael, thank you for all you're doing, and keep it going. It's time for me to stop talking for a minute, and let's see our annual year-end review video. Let me thank Aaron McCulloch and Michael Godfriend and the communications team for putting together this video. It's just an amalgam of things that we've completed throughout the year. And once he's finished, we'll start transitioning into a little bit more about promises made, promises. Here we go. Let's take a look at the video.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Here we go now.
The way that we're moving, the days feel like hours to me. Still through it all, I believe. Life is a song, it's a sweet melody. Your story is whatever you want it to be. We're in this together, we're one family. Your life is a song beautiful to me. Breeze comes to lift us up. In the still of the afternoon, I'm reminded of love. Coming to fill up my cup. Your life is a song, it's a sweet melody. Your story is whatever you want it to be. We're in this together, we're family. Your life is a song beautiful to me. Beautiful to me. Your life is a song, it's a sweet melody. Your story is whatever you want it to be. We're in this together, we're one family. Your life is a song beautiful to me. Got another chance to rise above the emptiness. Got a brand new plan, forming like a silhouette. Our eyes are looking up, gonna get what we want. Our time to overcome. The stars align for us. Hearts soaring like a jet plane, crashing and we never look back. Tell them this is our game. We're taking it with all that we have. It'll never be the same. Victory, we're riding our past. Hearts soaring like a jet plane, crashing and we never look back. Until the last call, staying until the end, together through it all. Even if we break a bend, our eyes are looking up, gonna get what we want. Our time to overcome. The stars align for us. Hearts soar like a jet plane, crashing and we never look back. Tell them this is our game. We're taking it with all that we have. It'll never be the same. Victory, we're riding our past. Hearts soar like a jet plane, crashing and we never look back.
I love showing this video. You know, sometimes we move so fast in the administration and the council that rarely do we stop and reflect upon what's been accomplished. And this year-end video allows us to take a deep breath and reflect upon all the hard work that's been completed by so many within the city organization. Let me mention that we will open our new Senior Citizens Annex and the Brown Kimbrough Center for Arts and Innovation in the first of 2022. These two facilities will provide, thanks to the voter support and the generous donations of ABB and the Kimbrough family, these two places are going to provide opportunities for seniors to gather and stay active and for emerging artists to hone their craft. We can't wait. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Who remembers me saying several years that there were going to be orange cones all over the city? I hate to say I was right. Have you noticed how the traffic, not only on Lynn Lane and Kenosha, is crazy? In fact, I have to plan about 15 to 20 minutes if I'm going to go anywhere in the city. And traffic congestion is one of the biggest challenges we have as a community. It's a great challenge to have. But I do remember saying that some growth does require some level of inconvenience. And so I'm sorry, but not sorry when it comes to growth. But I will tell you, you're going to be more talk about traffic congestion and what our plans are in the future. All kidding aside, let me take an opportunity to thank Norm Stevens, Kenny Schwab, our entire leadership team, our senior staff, and our employees. And folks, they came to work every day during a pandemic. They never shied away from doing their job, and I'm grateful for what they did. This next section of my address I've entitled Promises Made, Promises Kept, because as elected and appointed officials, I think sometimes we have to remind those people that put us in these positions what we said we were going to do and what we promised that we've done. And so back in 2015, I started talking about my initial observations about the community, the organization, and what I thought we could accomplish together. The next couple of presentations, I talked about the foundation on which we needed to build on to be successful. And I want to stop just for a minute and point out some of the major achievements. Now, I'm going to start this section by saying I've always believed that the success of a community begins and ends with its commitment to public safety. Show me a city in this country that doesn't have a commitment to having safe streets, safe businesses, police and emergency management, and I'll show you a community that's not being successful. In Broken Arrow, we have the police department and the fire department backs. And I'm proud to say that back in 2015, the voters overwhelmingly repurposed the vision tax to add 20 additional firefighters and 20 additional police officers. We also continued our commitment by the next thing we did was we now have workable plans for completing infrastructure improvements. Many of you remember me saying back in 2015 and 16, the city had a hard time getting the projects the voters had approved in 2011 and 2014 respectively completed. They were either stalled or they were lingering. And I promised you that we would put plans in place to make sure that what the voters said they wanted, we would get done. And thanks to the help of Kenny Schwab, Rocky Hinkle, Ethan Edwards, Matt Hendren, and Chuck Vokes, and the entire operation teams, we now have major plans for roads, streets, parks and recreation, and public utilities. And I couldn't be prouder of all the hard work to make sure you guys stay on top of our infrastructure. So thank you very much. Next, we've created a leadership, and I'm proud of the efforts that you put forth. Fourth, and back in 2018, we passed our Build Our Future GO bonds, almost 200 in the city's history, 6 propositions that got a minimum of 65 or 64% up to 74% for approximately 100 quality of life projects within our community. It was amazing. This year we sold $20 million in year 4 of additional projects. On transparency and communication to make sure you knew what was going on at City Hall. And quite frankly, folks, if you don't know what's going on in Broken Arrow, you're simply not paying attention. Between what the city council does, what this administration does, what the chamber, I think we're one of the most transparent cities in America. Now, if you're talking about Bell's Amusement Park, probably don't think we're being too transparent. However, we are being very transparent, and I'm just trying to put a little levity in here so you don't start looking at your cell phones. Financial stability. Hey, you got to have money. You got to have beans in the counter to pay the bills. We're ensuring that all of our expenditures on our sound financial conservative principles and focusing on the fundamentals the fundamentals that make this community great. Here's something that's important to me. Enhanced our administration model. We're now focusing on development and redevelopment in all areas of the city, not just the Rose District. And that was something I heard a lot about, is Rose District fatigue. And now we're looking at trying to develop also Jennifer and Darla and their teams working on trying to grow jobs and trying to bring more opportunities up local. And the most important thing to me is we've implemented a mindset on how to, when it comes to helping citizens and businesses. Everybody that works for me knows that don't come to me and say no. You better, if you do, you better look out every single thing you can do to meet their needs. Now, we can't always say yes, but we do have to say no. Looking at every opportunity to try to help them. About some key factors and figures that basically back up what I'm saying with all this being blessed and so forth. And first and foremost, our population is up 13. You can see our average household income continues to increase. Approximately 320 manufacturers continue to call Broken Arrow home, and I understand probably a 5% increase over the next 4 or 5 years. Broken Arrow is considered one of the safest cities in Oklahoma. We have some of the best schools in the state. And as it was shown, community development has issued over 790 single-family residential permits and 67 building permits within our community. I would like to point out, since I started, we've issued over 3,200 new single-family homes. Once again, that demonstrates that Broken Arrow is a great investment to the private sector. Here's probably what I'm most happy about, because it's a true testament to the belief about Broken Arrow being a great place to make an investment. Broken Arrow's assessed value has increased 33% in the last 6 years, from almost $790 million to $1,050 million. 33%. That's absolutely amazing. Our budget this year is over $300 million. That's Elon Musk type money. And I can tell you that we make sure the directors justify everything. We are currently in compliance with the council's reserve funds to make sure we have money in the bank for an unexpected circumstances. Sales tax this year, and none of the directors need to be thinking about spending it yet, up 11% this year, and use tax is up 14%. Moody's considers us to continue to be a very stable community with great rates. And once again, we sold $20 million worth of bonds last month. And in our upcoming edition of the Thrive newsletter, you will see those projects we're planning. And finally, we've implemented the transition to our new trash and recycling operation for single family. Jerry has informed me, Jerry Schuber, our new director of recycling and solid waste, has informed me that we should be back online in the first quarter of next year. And he asked me to tell you this: please recycle, but don't throw lithium batteries in with your recycling, because we don't want the plant to have to burn down again. Didn't know what you want me to tell him, Jerry? Okay, all right. All right, so let's move forward here, because I know everyone has busy schedules this afternoon. Here's where I start to tie everything together on where we've been. I think we have a solid foundation in place, and I think it's time to start looking at 10 years and where we're heading on this journey. Now, the key ingredient for everyone to think about, because it all affects us, we don't think that the growth of our community is going to slow. In fact, all indications is that there's going to be more private investment in our city, and so we have to be prepared for it. Here are just a few of the questions that the council, either directly or indirectly, ask themselves or talk to their constituents about. What is next for Broken Arrow? Here's a question for everybody. How do we continue to be a city that people and businesses want to come to and not go from? What opportunities are out there to improve upon or enhance the quality of life for everybody in this room and the other 115,000 people that call Broken Arrow home? There it is, that phrase again. That's Brent Brassfield's famous phrase, quality of life. You know, what is quality of life? Quality of life is a puzzle. It's made up of public infrastructure, great schools, safe cities, clean properties, parks and recreation. But the one key ingredient when it comes to quality of life is the people. And Broken Arrow has some of the finest people you will find anywhere in this country. And let me give you an example. Last night at the council meeting, we had a young lady come up before the council who was opposed to a rezoning application that the council was considering. And she started off by saying that she had lived in a city to the west of us for over 20 years, and all she'd heard for her entire time was, what this Broken Arrow thing, what is it? Why is Broken Arrow so great? 2.5 years ago, she moved here, And she looked at the council and she said, I get it. I get it. I don't want to be anywhere else. Now, she didn't walk away happy because the council went ahead and approved the rezoning. But I'll tell you this. She looked at me, and what she said on her face was, I know I didn't get what I wanted, but I trust you guys to hold the developer accountable to make sure that's a quality development that doesn't impact my quality of life. She gets it. So it doesn't matter about all the great things. If you don't have great people, you're not going to have a great community. So I get a little bit of chills when I think about that because I'm sitting there going, I got to write this down. Before we talk about what's on the horizon, let's pause, and I'm going to watch the second video and hear from our local officials because I got to make sure I get my bosses in here because obviously I couldn't be prouder to work for them because I'm telling you, I have a hard time keeping up with all of them actually in some way, shape, or form. So I want you all to hear from our local officials and several other folks within the city on what they imagine for Broken Arrow. So let's take a look at the second video.
The growth that's going on, the Innovation District, of course, that's something that's going to be an ongoing project for many years to come that is going to bring top jobs, quality jobs, innovative jobs. Why wouldn't you move to Broken Arrow? We have literally everything here. We are the biggest small city in America, and that it is kind of a talking point, but it's a hashtag, but it's actually the truth.
I've been to Houston, I've been to Dallas, and I'm from Dallas, and my husband's from Hobart, and we've kind of had a wide variety of places we visited or lived, and people are just friendly here, and they just seem to they're caring, sharing, always want to help. So it's just a great place to live.
Continue to be a safe community. Our police and fire are second to none, and that's definitely, and I feel again like it's the whole council. We want to keep our city safe, and I think that's a big part of our success is our fire and police protection and response, and it's just a great place, safe place to live. And I think as long as we continue on that track, we're going to continue to grow. Really, it's whatever you need, you can find it here in Broken Arrow. And we've got great parks, so why wouldn't you want to move to Broken Arrow? Great opportunities, great places to shop, great, the Rose District is great, and the New Orleans Square. And I like where we're, at this point, we're not just focusing on one part of the city, we're spreading it out. And I think that's important. And we're not just doing one project, we have a lot of projects going on. And that's what makes the city progressive, when you can concentrate on several different projects and keep moving forward.
I've lived in Broken Arrow my entire life. And I plan on staying here for a lot longer. And so getting the chance to hop in and make the city how I want to see our city grow and see where the plans are for the future, and to have a chance to voice either my concerns or the things that I would love to see come to our city is honestly incredible. I've gotten to actually sit in on some of the city council meetings where they talk about the future plan and the master plan for the city of Broken Arrow. And so it's super cool when you can sit in at stuff like that and be on the UC council and see stuff like that. And then you walk and you drive by and you go, oh, wait a second, I know what that is. Like, this is getting to see where the future goal is and being a part of a city that truly cares about the people who live there and want to take their opinions and advice and just grow and make our city as amazing as possible.
The planning that's going into it now to try to develop a situation where we try to keep some of our graduates, our high school graduates, to keep them in the Broken Arrow area, I think is something that we've always strived to do. We have jobs here that weren't always here, tremendous amount of jobs in the city of Broken Arrow. Probably one of the safest cities in the state and this part of the nation. Right here, not this building don't do it. It's the men and women in our police department and our fire department. And that by far is a safe place to live. You know what I mean? That's where your opportunity goes. When you know that you've got somebody watching your back, so to speak, and protection for you and your family, it makes you feel good and comfortable. And so you're able to have the different opportunities because of all those things coming together.
It might sound cliche, but it inspires my future. Like, I don't want anything less than this. Broken Arrow is just a beautiful place. I mean, this is an amazing sports complex, and it's just for playing softball and kickball for fun. And our whole city is like that. It's the little things that count, and it just makes me realize that I can have these things in life, and it pushes me to reach goals so I can have this in my future. Opportunity just sprouts from Broken Arrow, and that's like where opportunity lives, is in Broken Arrow. It's just, I don't know, Broken Arrow is opportunity.
Broken Arrow is a place that is steeped in faith, in tradition, in history. It understands where it's been, but it's excited about where it's going. That's what makes Broken Arrow such a special place, because we value the past, but we embrace the future. So there's always going to be something new happening. We want to keep driving that, but we respect the past. We respect the traditions of Broken Arrow. And I think that balance makes it a comfortable place for people to be a part of. You know, Broken Arrow is really fundamentally on the trajectory to be the third largest city in Oklahoma, I think very soon, if not already. So its population is going to grow. With that comes the challenges of continuing to offer the safe environment we offer, continuing to offer the financial prosperity that you can find here. We have great residential values. We have great activities. We continue to invest in ourselves, in our parks, in our arts, in our infrastructure. As we do that, Broken Arrow has nothing but a bright future ahead of it.
Broken Arrow and the adults are not only expanding for the older generations, they're expanding for the younger generations. Broken Arrow is such a large population, and being able to kind of incorporate rural and suburban and even big city feels into just this plot of land that we're expanding even more. It's really great because we're able to be the star on Oklahoma, maybe even bigger than Tulsa one day. Again, opportunity itself is in Broken Arrow, just with the fact of the expansion that's being done and the expansion that has been done to Broken Arrow in the past 30 years, decades, really. Broken Arrow is growing every single day, and there's that opportunity itself. So opportunity is in the roots of Broken Arrow, and it's being shown by the population of Broken Arrow.
It's the people. That was the most attractive thing to me about this process of deciding to come here. This is home for me, and to be able to bring my kids here and them to experience what I got to experience growing up in this area, it's a huge deal to me. I just see opportunity that everybody wants to take advantage of, and nobody's content with just staying the same. The things that we're able to provide for our students here is unreal. I mean, this building in and of itself is, you can't go to a lot of places and get these kind of opportunities.
What I have found and what I believe is incredible assets is the community that we work alongside, the size that we are, and the opportunities that we have. That I found people I can trust, leadership that I believe in. I found citizens that I work alongside and love, and friendships. I found school systems that I can trust my children to. I found a community that makes sure that my roads are there. The water is when I turn it on. I mean, all those things, but that I found it all in a level of quality and excellence. Broken Arrow, I know, will not let you down. So if you find that thing that brings you here, and it could be just Broken Arrow in itself, or it could be a job, it could be a school system, it could be a family member, it could be whatever that is, we're not going to disappoint.
I mean, truly anything is possible. To think that we still have the small town feeling, but are able to offer incredibly huge projects like the Innovation District, that's opportunity, right? That's where opportunity lives. That we always try to get to a yes. Like when someone brings something to us, like, let's see what we can do to make that happen. And so far, we've been able to do that. And that's something I'm very proud of, and honored to be the mayor of the city of Broken Arrow during this exciting time. It is a great place to raise a family. We're one of the safest cities. We have, like I said, the quality of life projects that we have, expanding a skate park because that's something people wanted. Like, we made it happen. The great parks and trail systems we have in our city. And then, of course, just the great citizens. And I just think, why would you want to live anywhere else than Broken Arrow?
Wow. Weren't those some amazing testimonies about the great quality of life right here in Broken Arrow? I believe Audrey Arendt said it best, and quite simply, Broken Arrow is opportunity. In my opinion, Broken Arrow has some of the finest people you'll find anywhere in our great country. That's why each and every day we strive to ensure our city is a great place to live, work, and play. How do we do this, or why do we do this? Well, whether it's our first-class public safety services, our additions and expansions of our public facilities and infrastructure, our constant venture to seek out public-private partnerships to help grow our economy, or our beautification initiatives across the city, we take great pride in creating an environment for our citizens and businesses that facilitates what I believe is the finest quality of life anywhere. In closing, over the years, I've come to learn that a community success is actually a journey and not just a destination. Broken Arrow is where opportunity lives. So come join us on this journey, because from my perspective, we're still just getting started. Let's go. You know, the common theme there. The common theme there was opportunity. So let's talk about what's ahead for Broken Arrow. In order for a fast-growing community to be able to take advantage of opportunities and address challenges, there's some things that we always need to be doing. I believe first, we need to be adaptable to ever-changing conditions we are faced with, and always try to be proactive and not so reactive to the needs of the citizens and our businesses. We have to be open to new ideas and suggestions regardless of where they come from. Third, despite a lot of noise, and there is a lot of noise on social media, we got to stay focused on the journey. Got to stay focused, because there will be people that don't want to be on this ride for their own reason, but we got to stay focused. And I think we have the leadership team. I think we have the community leaders. We have these partners that understand that not everyone's going to agree what we do, but we're doing our best for this community. I believe if we follow these guidelines, we will be able to take advantage of things that we haven't even envisioned yet for our community success. So I'm going to go through it quickly here because I want to start wrapping things up. I've learned a handful of things over the last few years that are the fundamental principles in which we must work. First is public safety. I've talked about public safety. I would like to recognize Chief Barry Hill and their leadership teams for all that you do to keep our city safe. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I want us to continue the very best police and fire departments in the state of Oklahoma. Economic Development Administration, we have to continue to create an environment that promotes private investment. Things are happening right now that we have no idea that it's going on. There's so much interest in transformational public-private partnerships that will grow our economy. We have to continue to focus on jobs. We have to increase the opportunity to shop local. We will continue with Jennifer and the EDC. We will be putting out a request for proposal for the design and possible development of the 90 acres that we purchased earlier this year. Revitalization, just getting started. That area is prime for development. In the Rose District, believe it or not, the Rose District is over 10 years old. Circle back. I can't even believe I haven't used it. For those of you who know what I'm talking about. Let me go back to this. Rose District, it's been around 10 years. We need to take a look at reinvestments in the Rose District because it is the hub. Isn't that right? Where's the mayor of Main Street? Where's he at, Larry? It is the hub. Everything else is the spokes of the wheel. Also, innovative government. We have over 850 employees that are working hard every day. We need to make sure that they are technologically proficient, and then we create a 21st century workforce. Number 4, physical sustainability and strategic investment. We have to make sure that we have money in the bank for the rainy. Oh, I just blew it. I'll hold this. So let me get to some of the initiatives that we're actually going to be moving forward with. I lost my place here. First thing I'm going to do is let's go to our gateway. Actually, we're going to be implementing a gateway signage structure that's going to identify our city and create tourist opportunities. So the council has approved that design, and actually we should start construction sometime early next year. I'm sorry, later this year, later in 2022. Secondly, and this is very important to me and the council, is we need to take the money that we receive. There's a better way to serve our community, especially served. There's a lot of folks that can't get to the doctor, they can't get to the prescription, and I think the city has a responsibility to help those. We need a rideshare program, staying in our hotels, to the Rose District, to New Orleans Square, to Tiger. rise some studies to look at that. This is important to me. In 2027 or 2028, we could be looking at a bond package to go to the voters that is a no tax increase between $300 and $400 million. That is transfer money, folks, that are going to widen our streets, take care of our parks, our public safety, and do some amazing things. One of those projects is going to be Elam Park for our community. And we also must continue sustainability for everyone in our community. You're going to hear more about those. Now, our challenges. Like I said, it's not all rainbows and unicorns in the city. And I want to mention some of those challenges because I would be remiss if I did not. Finalizing and coming up with the funding for a long-range plan for our water drinking system is very important. Right now, we have the capacity, but in 10 to 15 years, we probably won't. So we not only need more capacity, but we need a better raw water source. Traffic congestion. We need to basically address the interchange issues on Elm Place, Lynn Lane, and Kenosha on Highway 51, and those are going to be $15 to $25 million projects. And so that's where the ceiling comes into play because we're going to need the state and the federal delegations to help us because we simply don't have that kind of solid waste operations. Adams Creek Basin, we have some issues with sanitary sewer and stormwater systems. I know that Ethan Edwards and Kenny Schwab are on top of that. That could be $30 to $40 million. Our solid waste and disposal operations. We need a transfer station because it's not effective to continue to drive trash trucks to the other side of Tulsa to get rid of trash. At 10 to 15 million to create a transfer station. And also public safety districts. At the help of all of our legislators, the governor signed a bill that now lets our community public safety. And I believe in order for us to continue to have a safe city, we're going to need the support of the public. So as I start to close out my address this year, I want to start once again. Let's get to that. It means a lot to me, and it's so important. It's local government is where leadership and public service matters the most. This is where the proverbial rubber meets the road, and we can make the biggest difference in the life of our citizens. Now, managing the growth is difficult in itself, but I want to assure everyone in this room and everyone that watches this video that I'm confident that we have the council, the administration, and the partners to overcome our challenges that we have within our community. And I promise you that we will continue to work as hard as we can with love and energy to meet the expectations. As you can see from this presentation, I do believe we're truly blessed. We're doing great right now, and we have some tremendous momentum. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's keep energized, and let's stay focused. Because as I told my staff yesterday morning, this is our time. Everybody needs to be all in. This is our time to make a difference in this community, and they're all in. And I'm asking all of you to stay all in because the citizens and the businesses are counting on us. Broken Arrow is truly where opportunity lives, and with great things on the horizon along this journey, I'm so excited that we're going to do it together. And as we end 2021 and we look at a new year, I want to ask everybody to do three things. Think big and bold, continue to work together, and find ways to help benefit our citizens and our businesses. And with that, I'd like to thank the Broken Arrow Chamber. I want to appreciate everyone's support. Let's have another great year in 2022. Merry Christmas, and until next year, may God bless you and continue to bless the city of Broken Arrow. Thank you.
I don't know how to do this either. But I don't want to yell at 225 people in the room. So fantastic. Thank you. I think we have a lot to do, and I can help you spend some millions of dollars if you want. I've got some ideas. We truly, as evidenced by today's presentation, have a city council of excellence, have a city manager of excellence, and have a city of excellence. I will have to say I'm a little jealous, Michael, that you don't have any hair. So when you have to do outdoor interviews, there's nothing blowing in your face. there's positives to that. But so before we close, we're going to do Lunch on Us. That is sponsored by our Chamber Ambassadors group. So if Nicole Beautiful Smith will please come forward, and we will draw who is the winner, who's going to get another free lunch that you're going to all show up to on January 12th, right?
All right, you guys, this really is why you all showed up, I'm sure. And the winner is Mike Scrimshire, who cannot win. This is sponsored by Western Sun and Royal Printing. Mr. Mike Scrimshire himself. So we'll
He's trying to buy himself a lunch.
him out. Real winner is, hold on, you want to draw?
I'll draw. Maybe I
Okay.
have the right. Here we go. Western Sun? No, I'm just saying.
There you go.
With
Are you here?
Joanna.
Fantastic. Aren't you glad I chased you down?
Joanna is with TEDC Creative Capital, which is an incredible asset in Tulsa County for helping businesses and entrepreneurs and many things. So thanks for joining us today, and reach out to our EDC who can help connect you to the TEDC and those resources. Well, we're going to recognize our sponsors one more time for this incredible luncheon. Floral Haven, Netlink Solutions, and the Persimmon Group and Tulsa Tech and Bass Bank are presenting sponsors. Our monthly sponsor, Oklahoma Natural Gas, and new member table, Brightway Insurance. Table sponsors, Ascension St. John of Broken Arrow Bank, GH2 Architects, Public Service Company of Oklahoma, and Windstream, and our host sponsor, Broken Arrow Public Schools. Now, one quick join us tomorrow night at our after hours at ABB Bank. And also, Amber mentioned our banquet that's coming up. Our awards went live to be nominated. You can do self-nominate or nominate a Business of Excellence for our Broken Arrow Award. So do that online. And if you book your table or your tickets for the banquet by 12/31, we're going to throw in an extra bottle of wine at your table or a couple of drink tickets, because I know that's important to some people in the room. And so we just want to give you a little extra thank you for planning ahead. So if you book that table by 12/31, it'll be a Christmas gift to you. So thank you all so much for this. Thank you again, City Manager, and thank you for our City Council for your leadership. And Michael already mentioned all the officials in the room, so that took that off my list. But we thank everyone for investing your time and investing in Broken Arrow. Have a blessed holiday.